Texas Tech loses the last regular season game of the year. So close. 27-24. It was a game that many of us didn't really think we had a solid chance at, with them being number 8 in the nation at the time. But hell of an effort from this team. Brooks, initial thoughts, reactions to this Baylor game, to the Baylor loss. What are you thinking over there? What did you think?
It was a tough way to end the regular season for sure. But a lot of positives, I think, to take from this game. And ultimately, you can be proud of the fight that we showed going on the road against a top 10 team in the nation. You shot yourself in the foot over and over and over again, and yet you found yourself in the last minute of the game with a chance to tie and take, a top 10 team to overtime. So a lot of things to be proud of from this team in that game, I think. Your offense figured it out in the second half and put together some impressive drives when you needed them to. And your defense, while it kind of did the bend, don't break type thing, it's not like they gave up a whole lot of points. They gave up a lot of yards, gave up a lot of third and fourth downs. But when you needed them to make stops, they did. When you needed a fourth down stop, Colin Schooler was there again. While it was disappointing to lose that game, I don't think there's any reason to hang your heads. Jonathan Garibay has been awesome for us all year. So I'm not going to be upset with him. I'm not going to be upset with anybody on this team for going out there and giving it all they had one last time.
Whenever I'd mentioned the whole "we were so close" thing, you kind of had the big sigh there too. What are your thoughts about this Baylor game, man?
Well, I don't know. Watching most of it early, it felt like we were kind of just always a couple steps behind throughout most of the game. It's like, no, we're not getting torched. There's just like our offense kind of fluttering. I don't know if it was just maybe those 2 turnovers or kind of lack of first downs, but then they made it exciting at the end, and defense did enough to hold us in it, give us a chance. Offense somehow called a stupid draw and then still got 20 yards the next play to give us a chance.
Yeah.
Garibay just barely missed that kick too. That was not far off. He barely pulled that kick. I felt like we were never in the game until like the very last drive, and it's like, gave ourselves a chance. Ourselves a chance. Kept doing it, and then just barely missed it. And I feel like that was a lot of us this year, kind of barely missing a lot of things. I guess to kind of get into our next thing, but yeah. I wasn't disappointed either, even though we took Baylor, who's going to be second place at worst in the Big 12 this year, and they needed to win this game really bad.
With a 6-6, but I don't think that that's the main story. I think the main issue that most of us have here is that second little statistic there, which is 3-6 in conference. Dustin, what are your thoughts about the regular season for Texas Tech this year?
Pretty sure it's what we all predicted when we started this like 3 months ago. We had high ends and low ends, but I think most of us felt that we were going to finish 6-6, maybe 7-5, and most games kind of went how we thought. Maybe besides the Texas blowout,
yeah,
I think everything else was pretty close to what was expected. We started 3-0, and Texas blew our doors off. We beat West Virginia kind of like we thought. And TCU kind of blew our doors off again. Coaching change happened. That's probably the biggest shock during the season. Maybe your Kansas State game you look back on, you're like, could have squeezed one out there. But
yeah,
I don't know. I called the Iowa State upset as our last chance to pull one off there. I think you're happy with the close Baylor loss, honestly. Besides, like on the field stuff, not surprised besides our blowout against Texas, really.
Well, in the end-all, be-all, it's another season where the lows outweigh the highs. Again, it's a roller coaster of a season. Obviously, it's going to be like that when you fire a coach. But, when I look at the end of the season, I'm proud of the way our team fought, continued to hang in there, got to that 6th win to get us bowl eligible for the first time since 2017.
Yep.
And give us another month of, possible talking about Texas Tech football. And the big thing on this season for me right now, specifically, is Joey Maguire.
True.
And the possible hope that he brings with him, the recruiting, the staff additions that we'll get into, all this stuff, this pump jack mentality. Sure, that's Cumbie, but he's brought it in too, and just kind of this new energy that's been brought over the program here lately. And I can't help but feel hope at the end of this season and what's coming forward. And that's a different feeling than we've had the last several years of Tech football. Last thing I want to point out is I think we got to enjoy the last bit of the season a little bit more after we fired Wells, because we didn't have that hanging over us the rest of the season, which I think might have ruined all the end all of this. So getting that done early definitely kind of removed that stress from all of our lives. And gave us a chance to just kind of watch the football games. And hey, if we win, we win. We lose, we lose. And that's kind of what made it nice, not so stressful.
Yes.
Well, and you said one key word there, I think, which was we're hopeful now. Like we haven't seen Maguire be a head coach in college football at all, but I think most of us are just hopeful.
Jonathan Garibay has won the game with a 62-yard field goal. Oh my God, can you believe that?
Catch y'all at the next tailgate.